there. I'm going to be around a little bit for this talk as well. And we take it over to you, Venkat sir.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time out and coming on the session. Just for you to know, Priya has got father-in-law and husband COVID positive, one in hospital, etc. kind of situation. No servants in the house. You know how daunting that can be.
Oh my
And
God.
then for Nishit also the same thing. Son and daughter-in-law both COVID positive, both in the house, no servants. You know, all are struggling to the second wave. So that is what we were talking about. The second wave seems to be more has a higher impact than probably the first wave. The first wave you were locked in, so you knew what it was. But now we are becoming a little bit nonchalant about our approach, and also a little bit calcified about the security measures, and you know things are going to be difficult. But yes, I'm assuming that the vaccine rollout is happening, and with that happening and more people getting vaccines, and I'm happy to report that now the crowds have diminished, so more people are going and taking vaccines. I think we should see a mix of two things happening. The second wave, dying down and the vaccines rolling out, and therefore the numbers, dropping sharply. I'm a optimist, okay?
I think we have to be like that at this point.
Yeah,
No
and
choice.
NGOs and cyclists all being able to do good for society, which
Yeah.
which society needs a heck of a lot because of this pandemic. Okay, so we thank you, Priya, and welcome everybody again. Uh, what we have got today is we thought that we should do some ideation. We thought that every Saturday, at least once a week, there should be something around the discussion of these topics, and something that kind of motivates us, puts ideas in our thoughts. People pick up threads of discussion, and then at some way or the other, they get implemented in one way or the other. So for the benefit of those who could not come, I'm recording this session. If somebody doesn't want to be seen, then I'm quite okay if you don't want to have the camera on or whatever. So I'm just telling you all that. And with that, we'll start. And we what we did is that we went through, and we, from our own knowledge and from researching on the web and all that, we have got four of us who are presenting 10 best practices. Our thing is to we are kind of rehearsed for this. So our thing is that each best practice should take only 3 minutes, and maybe a minute or two of discussions around that. Go to the next one, next one, next one, and we're hoping that in about 45 minutes to maximum 1 hour, we should be done with this, and everybody should leave this discussion with a lot of ideas. What can be done, and a lot of things, and it's always like this. Some ideas catch a fancy, some ideas don't catch a fancy, and everybody's wired differently. Everybody has a different psychological scripting, and who knows what might hit whom as appropriate, and they will drive it forward and do good to themselves, do good to society. So with that, let me start sharing the presentation and get on with it. Okay, so I'm assuming that you all can see the presentation. Okay, so 10 effective fundraising techniques used by NGOs, and so the first case study is presented by Heth. Heth, it would be desirable at this point of time to turn your camera on so people can see you and relate, put a name to the face. And Heth is a intern with us. I hate to use the word intern, but he's an intern as of now. And he is an MBA in sports management. Everybody who's done this is an MBA in sports management from Indian Institute of Sports Management. So they took it up as their kind of project to present this, and they have worked on it for the last 4-5 days. And Radhika's kind of our team member who's kind of coordinated the entire effort, and Hiral Mistry has been the, what shall I say, mama who has supervised all the kids. So with a few words, Heth, over to you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So the first case study is Movember. So every November, you see the social media is flooded with men posting their long beards and handlebar mustaches. So the campaign, which started in 2004, has become one of the most influential campaigns the planet has ever seen. So what is it all about? Movember, which is popularly known as No Shave November in India, is a simple campaign. Actually, the term Movember is coined with a combination of November and mustache. So as the name suggests, the event takes place in the month of November, and the idea is to grow a mustache. So this event is done to raise awareness about health problem in men, prostate cancer, testicular cancer, depression, and many other health-related issues in men. The charity event Movember is run by the Movember Foundation, which aims to improve quality of life in men. So the event, which started in 2004 with just 30 men and to raising 100 million in 30 days, is a journey worth admiring. Isn't it mind-boggling what all they must have done right to raise 100 million, which is approximately 725 crores in 30 days? That's the power of a campaign, and that's the power of crowdfunding. So here are a few points that things they did right. They made great use of the internet. Everyone posted with a beard and a handlebar mustache and challenging their friends to grow a beard and mustache, creating a chain which led to awareness and donation for the NGO. So they not only kept it online, they kept it going offline too. They had billboards going out for the entire month with people having faces with their long mustaches and the message which the NGO wanted them to convey. The third point is they invested in technology very much. The Movember mobile application has made it simpler for users to make donations and upload their mustaches. It also provided a medium where everyone uh, could convey their message to make sure they show off their mustache and all of that. They also made an emotional connection. They made various videos with people telling their stories about how did cancer affect them and how the NGO helped them out to come out of that disease. The last point is being funny. This is the easiest piece of advice to offer, but the most difficult to realize. Movember has been successful in keeping things light despite dealing with serious issues. And they also built out a brand of this. They sold t-shirts, beard products. They also got Gillette as their title sponsor, which is a perfect fit for this event. So now what can we learn from this, or what can we integrate in Cycle for Good for it? So there are a few points that I thought of. We can have a simple, easy challenge like a slow cycling challenge for 30 meters. And we can have our cyclists recording their time that I did this in around 1 minute, and challenge their friends and families to do the same. So like we can also create a chain where we can raise awareness about Cycle for Good, about the NGO and all. So second point I thought of, like we can have a no vehicle Tuesday where everyone is promoted to ride their offices on a bicycle instead of driving their cars, their bikes, which is also good for the environment, and we can also promote our event and the NGO. So on this point, I was also having a discussion with the Ahan team. So they came up with an idea like a no gadget day, as they mainly deal with children's and cybersecurity. So what they thought of is that they'll have a day where they'll promote children to indulge in physical activity and not focus on playing games on mobiles and their computers. And yeah, that's about the event.
Does anybody want to add? Does anybody want to say? If somebody has something to add regarding November, regarding some idea, this is just an idea. This is a thought. Okay. So if somebody has, just unmute yourself and speak up. Otherwise, we'll go to the next one. Okay, I think we'll go to the next one, which is Rajat. Rajat,
hi guys, this is Rajat. So next slide, please.
Yeah, turn on a camera, Rajat. It helps always to see a name and a face.
1 second. So can you see me?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Okay. So London to Brighton bike ride is a 54-mile bike ride, just like CFT. But unlike CFT, it's an annual event which takes place every year from London to Brighton, starting from Clapham Grounds to Brighton Beach. So this event is hosted by British Heart Foundation, for raising money for vital research that will help understand, prevent and treat heart, heart and circulatory diseases, which claims about 170,000 lives in the UK. Yeah, and so this foundation essentially raises a fund amount of like 2 million euro every year, and yeah, that's about it. So next slide.
Done. Okay. So you know, we are just thinking, can some NGOs take it up, and you know, we are willing to, we'll come back to that. We, you know, this, can we have a Bombay to Alibag bike ride, or Bangalore to Nandi Hills, you know, ride, or maybe Chennai to Mahabalipuram, you know, ride. You know,
Bombay to
so many
Ambi
such rides
Valley.
can be done.
Bombay to Ambi Valley.
Bombay to Ambi Valley, yeah, that's right. Or Bombay to Alibag, you know, you know, Pune to, you know, Ambi Valley or something like that, you know. And maybe, you know, that can become an annual event, and maybe there can be 5-7 editions, because India is a very large country, and on the same day simultaneously it can happen, and various NGOs can become part of it, and cyclists will of course be there, and you know, it'll be fun, and each event can have its own variation. So that is the kind of idea that came to my mind when Rajat made this case study, and internally he, you know, presented it to us. So if anybody has any thoughts about this, anybody has any ideas about it, I'm open. Others will go to the third one. If anybody wants to say anything, please unmute yourself. We have not kept it like a webinar, so you can come and you can.
I'm Amog Vikram Singh. I'm from Shimla. I'm actually
Hi.
a brand ambassador.
Yes.
So, sir, actually, I was thinking that instead of making just Bombay to Ambi Valley, we can do it pan India. Like.
Yes, I agree with you. So different major cities can have major events. So on the same day in Chennai, it could be Chennai to Mahabalipuram. Delhi, I don't know what it can be. Agra is a bit too far, but something that is like 2-3 hours ka riding distance, 3-4 hours maximum riding distance. Start in the morning, go there by 11-12, reach there, you know, have lunch, and then come back.
Venkat sir, here's the thought. Ankush over here, and I'm just taking over from Amog. You know, we all ride a lot, and we ride. We are ambassadors are spread across the country.
Correct.
So why don't we do one thing? Across the country, we can ride. You know, while we are cycling, and we turn on our Garmin, and if we ride, it creates a map, right? That map can be across India. Like if we write, let's say Amog who's in Shimla, if he writes a G or like cycle for good. So you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah.
It'll
somebody can write a G,
planning.
somebody can write an A, somebody can write an
exactly.
M. Yeah.
Exactly. Just my thought, and then we can compile it and say that, you know, hey, we are there across the country, and we really mean business. And
a very good idea. So we'll take that up separately, and we can do a cycle for good, and that many alphabets, and that many this, and each one, somebody may have a road that looks like a G, and somebody may have a road that looks like a D, and we can take it from there, and somebody might have a road that looks like an Y. Very good idea. We are capturing this, we are making notes, we are recording these sessions, you know, for later. So we'll take this up, Ankush. And coming back to
another
Amog,
idea,
the idea was that
another idea is that another idea is that, you know, we've got like so many of us who are there across the country. If one could ride to the other, we could create like a chain, which again would generate mileage, and it could create like, you know, it could create some kind of a map kind of a thing. I don't know. Just thought.
Okay. We can ideate way to look at the practicality of the situation. Sure. Shall we go to the next one? Karthik.
Sir, I'm available. Hi, hello everyone.
Hi.
Sorry you had to witness my face on such a value-adding day, but I'll be taking on from here. So I'll be talking about Grey 2K USA. So Grey 2K USA is the largest greyhound protection organization in the world. They are a non-profit entity that work to pass stronger laws for protection of greyhounds as well as to reduce dog cruelty around the world. So basically, they're trying to eradicate dog racing in USA and then spread it out from there. Now, you might ask, what is dog racing? Dog racing is basically six greyhounds who are racing in an enclosed stadium or a track of sorts. And people just view it for fun. And you might say, so it sounds like a very safe sport. It sounds like a fun sport to watch, but it's very harsh on the dogs. The dogs are confined for 23 hours a day in cages that are no bigger than them, like really small cages, and harsh treatments are done on them so as to improve their performance. So basically, what Grey 2K USA has done, they have started collaborating with Giving Tuesday. Now, what is Giving Tuesday? Giving Tuesday is a beautiful initiative started in 2012. It's basically like celebration, like a day you do good. Okay. You give to others, you receive everything. So on this day, what Grey 2K USA has done is that they have a corporate sponsor in their company, and they push out social media campaigns for donations. And when donors from outside donate, the corporate donor within the company matches the amount and doubles the donation, which is a great initiative to push out hype, to bring in more donors, and to add on to the cause. Yes, sir. So the campaign started at 8 a.m. with a strict plan to spread the post in social media channels everywhere. It was spread everywhere. The hype was crazy. And they, in the initial year, they had a target of $5,000, which is now $10,000. And this year, in 2021, they've gone up to $33,500, which is around 24.5 lakhs. Now, how we can relate this to Cycle for Good? We can approach corporates. We can also have a day around the year we can do it probably. We can push out social media campaigns for donations. We can have those corporates match up the amount that the participants donate by themselves and double the amount. And it will go completely to the NGO, double the amount. I think this is a great initiative.
Thank you, Karthik. So when we saw this presentation by Karthik, internally we felt that this could be, one can just take an existing situation and give it a spin. For example, it's all about the packaging. Okay. For example, there can be a company that is going to give CSR money to, let us say, one NGO, and we can kind of work it with the company that rather than just take the CSR and spend it out, we'll give a spin on it, and we will give some publicity to the company that as a corporate citizen, etc. And we'll say that on this Giving Tuesday, Giving Week, Giving Month, Giving Fortnight, whatever we call it, if you register, if you take part, if you do, so there's a challenge thing, then this corporate will match whatever you do. So the corporate is still going to give the same amount of money, okay, but it's just getting more money out of an individual cyclist, this, and saying that, oh, in this fortnight, if you register and if you give so much money by way of top up donation, then the corporate will also match your donation. So everybody gets the feeling that, oh, if I give 1,000, the NGO is going to get 2,000, but it was still from that CSR fund. But it's just a positive spin for the company, and the company feels nice about it as a corporate branding image, and the NGO gets double the money. If they've taken the CSR money and spent it on the project, none of this could have happened. But now by giving this kind of a spin to it, pardon the term spin, giving this kind of a spin to it, they collect more money from the cyclist, and they in effect actually potentially double the amount of money that they would have collected. So that can be a variation on this as far as our scenario is concerned. Anybody wants to add anything more to what I said before we go to the next one? Priya, any thoughts? Okay, it looks like nobody has got this. Let's go to the next one. And the next one is by me. And we took a very simple case and something that we did like out of nowhere kind of thing. And this is called the Sanman Run. And as runners, we always have promoted this aspect of saying gratitude to the police, because it is the police who help conduct of running events. We go for permissions, as you two can run, and when you go to the police station and seek permission, as we sit down, we have a conversation with them, and they say, "Sir, you all want to run on a Sunday." Then the who is the officer of that place, and it's but my team has been working the entire 6 days, 7 days. We have not had holidays, and on Sunday you decide to organize a run, and I'm still happy to support you, but my people may not be as enthusiastic as me. I'm giving you the permission, I will give you the police, I'll close the roads. But my team is coming at 4 a.m. on a Sunday, which should be their holiday or weekly holiday or whatever. And still, the event is being conducted. This is the background under which we give the police permission. And this sensitization we felt, must be relayed, must be kind of, there should be a response. So we have always encouraged our runners to say thank you to the police whenever they run. Because that Havaldar, I mean, we're standing there, that woman is standing there, she's on duty at, she's come at 4:30 in the morning, so you can have a 5 o'clock flag off, and they have no reason to be there. They want to go home and sleep, but you have a reason to be there because you want to run and enjoy and get prizes and get selfie, and yes, of course, that breakfast t-shirt and medal. And so we thought that we should do something. And when we saw that the policemen were dying during the COVID lockdown period, we said, let's do a Sanman Run, a virtual run. A Sanman means, of course, gratitude, paying respect. And, people are dying. Let us have a small thing. Let us give 10,000 rupees each from the running community to every family. And we started this run as a virtual run. And when we started it, 48, this had died. And we wanted to collect 10,000 rupees each. That is what our goal was. But it soon crossed more than 100 plus. And now, after the event was over, and now it's even more. Of course, now everybody's got vaccinated, so the story is different. So this is what we started, and this is what we did. Okay, we ended up collecting 6 lakhs. We went to what we did as a best practice was that as soon as people registered and we got money, we took every amount that registered. 10,000 rupees ho gaya, so we would go to one family. Sunday, family member has died because of COVID. Family is in quarantine sometimes. We, of course, coordinated with the Maharashtra police, got the list and got the names and all that. And then we went there to the family. Of course, we were wearing masks, sanitizer, everything. And we gave that check of 10,000. Okay. And we posted it on social media. So when this happened, the registration just started coming in. There were certain NGOs that came and said, forget the registration. We are giving you some money. Please go and we are giving you 50,000 rupees. Please go take this as 5 family ka money. So ultimately, within a short period of about 1.5 months, we collected about 6 lakhs of rupees, could go to about 60 families. And then the police came in and said that there are more deserving families. There are families where the breadwinner is very young. The policeman is 34 years of age. His wife is 28. So give it to them rather than giving it to somebody who's like 55, 60, senior position, has done well for himself kind of thing. So they directed us, and we could give this money to this. So here what worked is that cause which resonated, and we exhibited integrity by taking that money and giving it. And when they saw that the end user funds is being used for a very good cause, more money came in. So that is what we did. And I think that in this end user funds is very important. If you demonstrate that it is being going for a good purpose, you always get more money. So that is what we did in the Samman run. Does anybody want to say anything before we go to the next one? Okay, so we have Heath again, and Heath is going to present the next one. Heath, zombie walk, all about, or the floor is yours.
Hi again. So Sydney Zombie Walk. If it's your first time in Sydney and it turns out to be 26 October, many of your childhood nightmares are going to come true. The zombies are going to be out on the street. But don't worry, it is the Sydney Zombie Walk. People dress up like zombies and walk on the street to support a good cause. So about Sydney Zombie Walk, the Sydney Zombie Walk started in 2009, less than 100 people. By 2014, they had roped more than 3,000 people, contributing around $1 million. So the main purpose of the Sydney Zombie Walk is definitely to raise money for a foundation for a good cause. So about the event is said to be very exciting and happening. They have food stalls with zombie treats. They have makeup artists on the street that make you look worse. They have these competitions and prizes internally. They have live music. They have tried to create it like a carnival. And while doing so, they also celebrate a festival which is called Halloween. This unique concept caught eyes of thousands of people and raised a lot of money because of its attractiveness and uniqueness, of course, uh, which created excitement not only in the participants but also the viewers. The event gets live telecast on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and all the platforms. So now at Cycle for Good, what can we do to replicate something like this or to create a hype around certain festivals? Because we as Indians are the luckiest. We have the most number of festivals celebrated in our country. So I thought of a few ideas on the upcoming festivals. So we have Holi coming up. So we can have something like our cyclists can go out to cycle with Holi colors. Like after playing Holi, they go out for a cycling ride, they click pictures, they challenge their friends and families to do the same. And yeah, and like create a hype around like it's a Holi run or a Holi cycling track, something like this. And on Christmas, we can have like our cyclists traveling wearing a red t-shirt, wearing a Santa hat, something like this, something to replicate the Santa Claus and go out cycling to create the awareness about the Cycle for Good initiative, about the NGOs they are supporting. So, people get more excited and more amused, like what's going on, what is this, what's Cycle for Good, and how are they helping the NGOs. So we get more registrations and in turn get more money for the NGOs. Thank you.
Thank you, Heath. Any ideas on this, Ankush? Any ideas? I mean, the floor is open. After each presentation, we thought we should share what comes in our mind so that we may be able to ideate further, propagate it further, run with the thoughts and go back and do something about it.
Thank you, sir. So we have done something exactly on the same lines. We got like a shiny green pant, very shiny green pant. Nobody will ever wear a shiny green pant except for cyclists, because I think we've got the best legs in the business, right? So some shiny green pants, and they had made a cape also, like a Superman cape kind of a thing. So when you're cycling, it kind of flutters and it creates a lot of, you're like a walking billboard practically. And we did about a 30 kilometer or a 40 kilometer. Just went out generally giving wherever we saw a kid, we gave him some balloons. So we were carrying some balloons with us. Now that creates a lot of happiness around wherever you go. You see a kid, you pass on a balloon. It costs you like 2 rupees, 3 rupees. But the amount of fun and the amount of happiness that it can create is tremendous. I've done it in the streets of Bangalore. I think it can be replicated across the country. Just a thought.
But what is this in connection? Was it in connection with a festival or with a cause or just by?
Sir, we were trying to advertise for this event called Pedal for the Planet.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was an initiative taken by Embassy. I was So yeah, these are some ideas. We just wanted to popularize the planet, like the thing, and show our face to the people around that cycling within the city is possible. Yeah.
Excellent. I mean, we need to do more things like this. If cycling, see, the statistics is that 41 lakh cycles were bought. In my society, they have made a cycle stand. There are some 10 cycles that have come into the society during this period. And there's, people are obviously, struggling. But the cycles need to go out. And if you don't create the infrastructure, if you don't create the culture, if you don't create the opportunities for people to come out and cycle, the cycles are all going to become, coat hangers and and whatever else old cycles are used for. And we need to have more engagements, more activations, more events around this, and NGOs must come get involved. If we bring a charitable aspect to the entire thing, everybody likes it. And charities require so much of effort from us to get money to give. That culture of giving must not be just on 1 week, which is a Dhan Utsav, but it should be kind of throughout the year. It should be spread, and we should slowly get into a culture where every month, every family does some good charitable act. Some small charity is given. Typically today, in the olden days, people used to be stay in villages. They should go to the temple and put money. But today, nobody does that. I mean, all that money is going into Netflix and Amazon and all those subscription services, but nothing is coming to NGOs. Okay, so on to the next. Unless somebody has anything to add about this. Does any other member of the audience wish to add? Any NGO that has tried something like this, any NGO that has ideated but given up the ideation because of the hit a roadblock, we are open to all kinds of inputs.
Sir, this is Swati from Nirman.
Hi, Swati. Hi.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I think, sir, the main constraint that we generally get through is getting individuals to sign up. I think that is the first step itself where we are getting stuck.
Okay.
So through these, case studies and everything, it is definitely helpful. Maybe a second round of discussion would also help us out to, work on these things. Because in terms of corporate fundraising, we are confident how things can be done and there's the process and everything. There's more number of efforts, more number of maybe awareness generation that is needed, which I think currently is something we need to learn more. So that kind of support would also be much helpful to us.
We are there. I mean, we got a team of about 4 or 5 people within Cycle for Good who are completely dedicated for this. Okay. Karthik, Heth, Rajat, Ishan is taken very ill, so that's why he's not here today. Radhika is there, Hiral is there, I am there. And see, if you do the same things again and again, you're only going to get the same result. Event management, doing events like this, these are all bright sparks where you take something existing and give it a new spin, make it more imaginative, make it more creative, make it more appealing. Doesn't mean you have to spend money. The beauty of peer-to-peer fundraising, especially around mass participation events, is that the participants are willing to pay money and do charity to be part of the experience. You don't have to give them money. They are willing to give you money because they want to cycle like say today morning I cycled about 15 kilometers. Okay. I got out of my house, went in BKC, went in the highway, came back to the highway. By the time I came back, it was, autos had come out on the roads and trucks were there on the road. Not a very pleasant, scenario.
Yeah.
But if on one day I can cycle in a pleasant scenario, I'm willing to pay for it. I will pay 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, whatever it takes to do that maybe once in 2 months. And out of that 2,200, 500, whatever is the cost and whatever is the split, can go to the NGO. And then if 1,000 people do, 2,000 people do, it comes to a sizable amount. And that is what Cycle for Good is about. Cycle for Good is about creating a platform on which NGOs and cyclists can come together, cycle, do all the good things that comes out of cycling, and do all the good things that NGOs want to do, for which cyclists can contribute and raise money.
Sure, sir.
But we can definitely ideate, we can have a separate meeting, and whoever is the NGO representative, whoever brand ambassadors are there, We can have separate meetings. We can have separate one-on-one. We can take specific ideas or specific past activations that didn't work too well. See how this can be made different. And like we have done about 1,800 events in You Too Can Run. The activity is running. That running activity is being substituted by cycling here. But all those ideas, whatever worked, whatever didn't work, we can bring on the table and we can give it a new spin without any further obligation on anybody, the NGO or the cyclist or the CSR, company giving CSR money or donating or whatever. We can give it a hype. We can give it a spin that it becomes 2x, 3x of what it used to be. That is what we bring to the table.
Definitely, sir. Thank you so much.
An ability to ideate and an ability to execute the ideation is what we are known for. And we have done many, many things. I'm just presenting 2 cases today, but there are about 1,800 cases. Every run that we have done has a charity angle, and every case has worked in a different way. And we come with that rich experience of what was possible, what was not possible, what appeals, what doesn't appeal. That's what we bring to the table. Thank you, Swati. Thank you.
Forward to learning.
Thank you. Surely, definitely. Karthik, you're next.
Yes, sir. So I'll be talking about Project Nanni Kali now. So the word Nanni Kali means little bud. Now let's think of India as a beautiful garden. This garden is made beautiful by the flowers in it. Now these flowers are the women in India. Now, if we don't care for the little buds that turn into these flowers, then the beauty dies off. And these little buds are the little girls in India. If we don't empower them, if we don't educate them, if we don't care for them, then the beauty of India would die off. With this same thought process, Anand Mahindra of the Mahindra Group started Project Nanni Kali, Little Bud. With problems such as overpopulation, low female literacy, low participation of females in the workplace, and other problems, long existing problems such as child marriage and child labor, the cause of child literacy, female child literacy, has become very, very important. Educating girls would lead to the development of India. Educating of the underprivileged girls who have no help whatsoever would lead to a great, great development of India. So Project Nanni Kali was designed as a sponsorship program wherein individuals can sponsor a minimum year of education for these little girls. Now, the cause that they came up with, the event that they came up with, the Powerless Queen. Now, chess originated in India in the 6th century. There are 64 tiles on the chessboard. There are 32 pieces, 16 pieces each side, and the most powerful piece is the queen. Now, the queen is the most powerful piece, but within the current world, within the 21st century, this queen has been left powerless. This beautiful analogy by these people in the current world shows us how the respect and how the power of women has been brought down. All the chess masters, Vishwanath Anand, and a lot of people have come forward to support this cause. And there was also a challenge, a Powerless Queen challenge, where you play against an AI, the computer, and the catch is your queen is left powerless. So you have to try to defeat the computer. This campaign grabbed the attention of many, many chess players. And within a couple of days, they collected 40,000 hours of education and 32,000 games were played, the Powerful Queen Challenge. It was the top trending hashtag in India and with a potential reach of 5 million. It won a lot of awards, Shorty Awards, Shorty Awards, and Grand Prix at the Prague International Advertising Festival.
Thank you, Karthik. So can we do a game around this? How can we get celebrities to come and contribute to the cause of the NGO around gaming? For example, this is a very powerful concept. Can we have paracyclist cycling as an example? Or can we have a cycling event where you have to use only one leg and cycle, okay, at one time. Okay, so you kind of connect with the cause, and can the donate? Can the NGO that is there is kind of rehabilitating injured people or something like that, and can we get leading cyclists, leading actors to come out and cycle using one leg? It may be just 2 kilometers. It's all celebrity management. But can something like that be done? I mean, that's the idea. That's the idea for an NGO that is into physical rehabilitation of, people with injuries, or, spinal cord injuries, for example. Anything like that can be the idea. It can be the ideation that can emerge out of something like this. We can borrow these examples, adapt them to our environment, to our activity, and do something very similar. And you never know how it might go. I mean, you never know who might come and which celebrity might come to the cause. And bear in mind that celebrities are also looking for something like this, and they also want to be seen as doing social good, and they don't mind lending their brand power, and something like this can be done. Does anybody want to add anything before we go to the next one?
Yeah, this is Charu. So we
Hi,
tried,
Hi.
For some other campaign, we tried to onboard one or two celebrities, but it's just so hard to get in touch with them because we managed to get their PA's number, but uske aage kuch ho nahi paya. So are there any tips or any tricks where we get, how do we reach out? Or do we just tag them in our posts? Is that the idea?
No, that will not work. You need to be able to go to the celebrity and really convince him about why he should do it, and he should also resonate. He should also resonate with the cause. There should be emotional resonance with the cause of the charity that should appeal to him. Sometimes it can be. So this is one thing. So you need to personally go, be able to get some FaceTime, explain to him, and tell him what we seek. That is one. Second is, it should be very simple for him to do. It should not be too much of a headache. It should be something that can be easily arranged for him to come and do it. That should be number 3. The other one is that there can be something around his event or his brand or his launch. There can be a commercial purpose for him to do that. For example, I'm just saying this. If Amir Khan was to make another what is that movie? Jo Jita Wohi Sikandar, which was all about cycling, okay? And he was to make Jo Jita Wohi Sikandar 2 as a sequel to his original movie. Then he might want to be seen as doing good for cyclists and use the cycling ecosystem to promote a cycling, genre film. So there has to be a commercial interest that can be one. There has to be some emotional connection with him. Somebody has to know him personally. Just tagging him will not matter at all because everybody tags him. The Mumbai police will tag him for something they want to tag him, and they will just ignore the tags, And this can come out of either an existing relationship, or we have to go through somebody who's a celebrity handler and sees reason for his celebrity client. Celebrity handlers are not, I mean, we can approach them, but they are not a good channel to go to because they are compensated for the money that they get. So they'll immediately ask you, kitna paisa hai? Which defeats the purpose, right? We are going to go there to raise money, not to give him money.
Yeah, that's what happened with us. They were asking, is there a fee involved?
Yeah, so the celebrity handlers are not the way to go to the celebrity through. We need to be able to reach directly. And it is the network, it is sometimes the brand manager, sometimes finding out who the ad agency. We would never know who in your, see, there's 6 degrees of separation, which they say that anybody in the world can connect to anybody, just 6 degrees. But I believe that within Bombay, within metros, it is just 1 degree of separation. I mean, I'm sure that in your NGO, in your board of trustees, there'll be somebody who can know somebody who will put you in touch with him. You need to fire up that network. You need to have everything conceptualized, take him to a package, so that he can just swallow it, put a glass of water and say, thank you very much. You need to keep that ready. But once that is done, then it's just, invoking the old boys network, getting the WhatsApp to work, and technology has made things so easy. I remember the time you had to pick up a phone and dial somebody. You don't have to do anything of that anymore. Everybody is just a handshake away. You just have to give that emotional do-good reason. And I don't see anybody not coming and doing it. If it resonates well with them.
Thank you.
We can work on that. I mean, if you have ideas that can be around cycling, I mean, for somebody like your society, it's very, very, kind of thing to do, cycle as somebody who's, having that disability. And there is no reason why people will not come. Celebrities also want to genuinely do good. There is not, I'm not seeing them as commercial monsters, but some of them are genuinely well-meaning people who want to do good. And it's just, somebody talking to somebody and say, "Arey yaar, kar lo yaar," and then let's striking it, chalo karte hain. It's just that movement that you require to get that breakthrough. Thank you, Charu. Thank you for contributing. Shall we go to the next one? Rajat, you're back. This is something we all know. Okay.
Yeah. So most of you must have heard about the Ice Bucket Challenge. It was an event, a campaign which went so viral that they created like around $220 million for the ALS organization. So Ice Bucket Challenge was a fundraising campaign that was for promoting ALS, which was amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. And so the fundraising campaign that was viral on social media in the summer of 2014 was a campaign where, after dumping icy water on their heads and daring others to do the same, many participants sent money to ALS organizations, including ALS Association, which soon started doling it out. So the Ice Bucket Challenge involved more than 17 million people, which uploaded videos that were watched more than 10 billion times by about 40 million people around the world. High-profile participants like Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, and Damon, and Homer Simpson. These people had already done Ice Bucket Challenge, and Ice Bucket Challenge had gone viral to a level which was like really impossible. And most participants were not famous, but their contributions added up. By the end of the summer, more than 28 million people had donated an estimated amount of $220 million worldwide, dwarfing previous ALS research budgets many times over. And so what we can do for Cycle for Good is essentially doing something, doing let's say a photo shoot after the brand ambassadors and people from the NGO, like doing a cycling trip, and then after completing, we can do let's say a photo shoot with the cycle in a pose and making that go viral, or something which can go viral.
So here, we just in the earlier we talked about how to get a celebrity to engage with your cause. And look at this. I mean, this cause is so remote. I love this case study because this cause, ALS, until the word ALS was there, nobody even knew what ALS is. You talk of cancer, you talk of AIDS, you talk of heart disease, you talk of diabetes. That's common. Everybody knows those kind of medical conditions. But this is such an obtuse medical condition. It's even for the people who took the challenge, they didn't know what is the full form of ALS. Even if the full form is there, they don't know how to pronounce it properly. Many of them don't know whom it affects, what it does. But still, people like Bill Gates and Obama and everybody, every single celebrity in the world took that challenge. Here you can see this photograph of Obama, with a tie and everything. And just look at the difficulty. You got a person like Obama wearing a tie and then putting an ice bucket on himself. I mean, it's so stupid. I mean, I would not do it. I mean, I would say, I don't want to do. But everybody did it because it caused the imagination. So coming back to what I said in the last one, it's about catching the imagination of the people. It's like a film. hit hona chahiye. You know, what film will become a hit and what will not become a hit, sometimes you don't know. And sometimes, you know, it's very difficult to make this. But I am saying that in the world of social media, we have this power. We have this tremendous power where we can take a small idea and make it go hit. I am not on TikTok, you know, because I don't have time for all these channels. But I'm told that on TikTok there are stars who make things go viral, and social media. Why one doesn't know what could hit. And actually, I'm the wrong guy to be actually chairing the session. We need people like Karthik and Rajat to tell us what, and Radhika to tell us what works and what will not work. And you know, and the most funkiest ideas. I mean, there's nothing connected between pouring a bucket of ice and ALS, but it went viral, and it's a case study, and it's all documented now. And for me, that was the first time I saw something like a challenge. And I said, hey, challenge kya hota hai? And you know, everybody said ALS challenge and nominated each other and all that. And it just caught the world's fancy. I mean, uh, look at the amazing thing that it has done for the cause. That cause has got such a boost because of all this money that has flown into the cause. And I'm sure that, you know, the people who are suffering from that because of that condition have benefited because of this. And people like Obama and Bill Gates and you know, everybody else contributed to that in a very small way. Sorry, you want to add something to this, taking off from your earlier inputs?
So we've never done a challenge, but this is very, I mean, I never thought of doing something like that for any of our other campaigns. But this time around, I think also because Cycle for Good is a year-long thing, we'll have time to build on it. So this is something which I was looking, I don't know, treasure hunt came to my mind all of a sudden. I don't know why. So I was also kind of thinking how we can work that into raising.
Yeah, and it takes about 6 months of preparation, you know, for this to happen correctly. Okay, so and it doesn't have to be immediate. It doesn't have to be in April. It can be in September. It can be in October. In October, there can be a Dasara 9 days of cycling challenge. I'm just saying this as an example. Okay, 9 days of cycling challenge. Or Dasara can be, you know, it's about women and empowerment. So it can be around the girl child and, you know, giving her power. So, you know, anything. I mean, one can ideate, re-ideate, and the first thoughts cannot happen in this meeting. You require several things. Then everybody has to buy it in within your NGO, and then your corporate sponsors have to buy it in, and then it has to be rolled out in a very imaginative way to the cyclists. Your brand ambassadors have to carry that message into the ecosystem, and that's how something like this will happen. It will not happen. Today's meeting is just what I would call very initial thoughts, very initial, you know, throwing of the seeds in the wind kind of meeting. You never know where it will land and how it will germinate.
I have one more question. Is sport cycling also being considered? I'm just thinking, if you have an exercise cycling, is that also being considered as cycling, or can that be considered?
There is nothing that says it cannot be considered. Okay. In the virtual run, people are running within their houses from bedroom to living room and recording full marathons. And there are many people who run full marathon within the balcony. If you asked me this question pre-COVID, I would have laughed at you. And I don't know, get out from here, don't even talk to me. But post-COVID, everything happens. Okay. So everything is par for the course.
Okay,
and why not? Yeah. Okay. Why not? Yeah, of course. And in extreme climate, that might be the only choice. You know, I mean, if you're in Ladakh and you want to take part, there is no on the ground. You can't cycle outside. So maybe somebody might take part in your challenge in Ladakh on a stationary bike. There are many people. There are, you know, very geeky cyclists, advanced cyclists. They have these trainers which they put on the rear wheel, and then I know there's a lot of technology around stationary biking within the house also. And these trainers kind of give you the same feel. They give you the same elevation profile. They project a course in front of you in the monitor. There's a lot of technology around stationary cycling also. And our answer is that we are not committed to one form of cycling. If somebody wants to do it in the house, why not? Ankush, do you have something to say about stationary cycling? Is Ankush there? Or is he dropped off? Okay. We'll go to the next one.
Off.
Okay, he's dropped off.
He's dropped
we'll
off.
go to the next one. Okay. Heth, you're back.
Hi. So now I'll be presenting cancer research race for life. So this is a very interesting race, and it is also called race for life, race for all. So whether you want to run, swim, walk, cycle, take part in a triathlon, there are races of all kinds for all people. So the main motive of this race is to like include everybody. Any physical activity they do, they have a race for you. So like talking about the stat, they have more than 35,000 runners, cyclists, swimmers who take part in it. And they all do it for raising money for cancer research, who are really trying to make a difference in people's life. They have events. This event is like also like correlate with our event Cycle for Good. So they also have events going out throughout the year. It's not just a one-day event or like a week event or something like that. They have events going out throughout the year. You can take part in any event at any point of time. They also have built a brand out of it. They sell t-shirts, joggers, and many accessories under the name of Race for Life. They have some beautiful pink t-shirts. They have some beautiful pink shoes. The basic concept is like a pink color. So everything related to cancer research for life and the Race for Life is in pink color. Talking about the numbers, they have been successful in raising 547 million euros, which is approximately 5,000 crores in the time period. They have also been successful in engaging 8 million participants, which is a great number. So what all they have done right, they have made great use of the internet. They have one of the best websites that I've seen in a long time. They make some beautiful videos with people showing how the NGO helped them, what were the situations they faced while they were struggling to cancer, and videos about the event, what kind of event it is, what fun they have during the event. So they also make really good videos and post it on all their social media channels. So there are a number of bodies that, except for the NGOs that work to make this event such successful event. And they also have a beautiful tagline under which they work. They say that they don't break records, they beat cancer. So at Cycle for Good, we all should come up with some catchy tagline integrating the event and the cause of the NGO. So, and make it use, we should make sure we use it again and again so that it gets registered in people's minds. So we should all come up with some catchy tagline. Thank you.
That is a good one. We don't break records, we beat cancer. And I keep saying this, there are many people who think that people take part in Mumbai Marathon because of medal milega, prize milega. And there are some people who don't know anything much. They say, "Arey, aapko medal mila hai kya, aapko prize mila hai kya," kind of thing. And we are very, very far away from an athlete. There is no way I am going to break a record, any record at this age. But 40,000 people take part in that event not because they want prize money or anything, but because they want to be better than what they were yesterday. They want to beat something. Okay, they want to empower themselves. Maybe it's obesity, maybe it's cancer, maybe it's heart disease. In the case of my own trainees and my group, they can be anything. There are 272, 18 NGOs with this year, and each one of them has a cause, and each one of them is their own stakeholder, their own bibs who bought them are running for whatever their causes are. So it's a great thing to have some kind of a catchy phrase like this, that it's not about breaking a record, it's not about athletic accomplishment, but it is about doing everyday general good for society. Good takeaway from this presentation of yours. Hey, does anybody want to add anything before we go to the next one?
Yes, about this campaign, even my brother had 2 years ago, even he had raised money. 10 of the doctors, they had cycled from UK to Paris.
Oh, wow. From your brother, I know, is in Leicester.
No, he's in Nottingham.
Birmingham, okay. Huh.
Nottingham,
okay.
And he's a doctor himself, and another 9 doctors together, 10 of them had, I'll share the pictures I have somewhere, and they cycled from UK like proper London to Paris.
Oh, wow.
And that's how they raise fund. I think around, I don't know, something around 5 lakhs or something. Rupees I'm talking about, something like that.
Wow. Okay.
So
Very
I'll
good.
pictures and share also with you.
Sure, later on we can do that. Good case. Next one, Karthik, second last one.
Yes, sir. So in this case, I'll be talking about the Maddie project. The Maddie project has come about from a girl's name, Madeline. Now, Madeline is the daughter of Chris and Nicole, and she used to have depression. She used to have anxiety around the age of 14. And within a few months, she gave up. She quit, and it was a great loss to her parents who came up with the Maddie project. Now, during lockdown, during the pandemic, we've all seen and known how important mental health is to each of us. So I hope all of you are taking a break. I know work days are important, your cycling days are important, your workout days are important, but it is equally important to take a break. So we'll go through with the campaign that the Maddie project supports. So it is the 4x 48 challenge. Now, what is this challenge? It is you run or you walk for 4 miles every 4 hours within 48 hours. Now, this challenge is beautiful because it is like a 2-day challenge, and it is supported by the ultra marathon runner David Goggins. So when they announced this challenge, there was such aggressive social media posting that people started posting their schedules, that how they're going to integrate this run and how beautiful it is for supporting mental health during the pandemic. And they started posting their YouTube videos, vlogging their runs or their walks. So yeah, it is an association with North York General Hospital, which is where Madeline was undergoing treatment for her depression. So basically, what you take away from this is it is very similar to Cycle for Good. They also printed T-shirts for all the participants. The participants donate money to whichever NGO they want to, they like or they support. And like the T-shirts they buy, the money that money will also go to the NGOs. So they sold around 10,000 T-shirts, and they made $200,000 for the NGOs, the charities. They raised $3 million for each of the charities that they supported. So I feel like this is a very beautiful initiative. It is very similar to Cycle for Good, which is why I believe Cycle for Good is a great event. And I believe we should also hype up our social media posting, social media channels. So the charity amount will grow potentially. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So anybody has any thoughts? Anybody wants to share anything on this? Okay. We'll go to the next one, the last one, which is by me. And this again is a very small, I've taken specifically smaller events that we have done, which are like boutique events, just to say that, everything need not be that large, full-fledged event. Even small events can do good for NGOs that are participated. So Footsteps for Good was originally conceived by a UK national, Jane Goodman, I think. And she walked from Sabarmati to Dandi. She was a Gandhi kind of follower, and she walked and she collected money and she gave it all to the NGOs. And then from next year, everybody said that let us try to do the same thing. And they started doing a local edition event in Bombay of Footsteps for Good. So what happened in that is that in the last edition, they didn't do it for the last 2 years for various reasons. The corporates came on board and they said they will meet all the cost of the event production. So whatever is we should do it in BKC. Whatever is the cost of the event, whatever the production cost, they said that they will meet that. And whatever registration came, it was 2,000 rupees. There's a 2-kilometer walk, 5-kilometer walk and run, some prize money. And they said that whatever registration comes, that entire registration money will go to the NGO. So every NGO, there were 28 NGOs in the last edition. So about every NGO could bring people, register, and take that money. So NGOs went all out and got their people to come and register, and everybody could take a walk, and there was a breakfast, and all those things happened. And every single NGO could this. And on the day of the event, all the NGOs had stalls there, and they could showcase what they are doing. So the people, and every NGO had bought. And we should have about, I think we had about 3,000 participants in the last edition. But the idea is that about 60 lakhs of rupees was raised because of this. And we of course undertook several meetings with NGOs. We marketed on behalf of the NGOs. We did all the things in Footsteps for Good that we proposed to do here. And it was a small on-ground event within Bombay. About 60 lakhs was raised through there's about 3,000 runners approximately. So 28 NGOs got 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs. Some got more, some got less, of course. And they got some money to run their programs, which came out of no effort, no cost to them, other than reaching out to their stakeholders, to their supporters, to their community, and telling them to come and take part. I have an NGO in which I'm a trustee. We don't do much of fundraising. We just internally collect money. But in this event, we decided to take part, and we collected some 4-5 lakhs from our own people. And it was just about 10-15 days work, reaching out to people, and people came and willingly gave that money. So sometimes, just the cause and the reaching out that we are doing this gets money that would not normally have come to the NGO. So we would not have normally, in our case, not have got that 4-5 lakhs of rupees for our own NGO. But just because we had an event and just because we messaged around that event, we got that money. Okay. So events like Footsteps for Good, like Cycle for Challenge, Cycle for Good, they come out of the belief that if you go and ask, and if it is around an event, it is around a challenge, it is around a cause, then people are willing to give money, and that money would not normally have come otherwise to that NGO. But now because of this event, it is coming, and that is all extra money, extra things that the NGO can do for the cause. So that really sums up our 10 presentations. Sorry, we took a little bit longer time, but I think that we didn't waste time. We didn't dawdle around, but I thought that we should this. So thank you, everybody. I'm stopping the share now, and we'll have a last round of discussions, and then we can close. Anybody who's not expressed himself, please feel free. This is an open forum. I saw the text message now, and Preeta has said that she ran Powai Run virtually. Thank you, Preeta. Thank you for doing this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody want to add anything before we close the session? Of course, the session is recorded. By evening, it should go up on YouTube. It takes some time to process and upload it. We should have some show notes. So, anybody sharing the video will see that there is a timeline. So if they want to see that particular thing, there will be a timestamp, and you can just jump to that, part of the presentation of today. If you want to show this internally, you want to, further ideate, you want to kind of recreate the discussion that got taken place today, the recording will be available.
I just wanted to say thank you for doing this, because sometimes we also get stuck with what to do, and this is kind of a good quick kick start for us also to get our brains working. So thank you for organizing this.
And me and my team are available. If you want to do further ideation, we're available one-to-one. We can come back. We can tell you what can be done. If there are past examples of what didn't work from your side, we can kind of troubleshoot. We can bring what worked from our side. It's all about sharing best practices, and that is exactly this purpose of this meeting. Share best practices, share ideas, you never know what will click and you never know what will swing. Maybe we are all collectively sitting on the next ALS challenge or the ice bucket challenge or the next, powerless queen challenge. I don't know. I mean, anything could come out of it. It's all about ideation. It's all about thinking.
So, and it's also like if people come together, you get more ideas because just one or two people sitting,
Exactly. Does Swati want to say anything? Is Swati there from Nirman? Swati is there. Swati, you want to add anything before we close down?
Sir, I just second what Charu had just said, that it was a good learning experience, gave us a good kickstart on this component, and definitely looking forward to learn more about how we can engage individuals because I'm not much in in line with the whole sector, if I may say so, of cycling, running enthusiasts. So this is a good introduction for me also. I like how you mentioned about people on a treadmill or anyone on stationary cycle, considering it as part of marathon would have been unimaginable before COVID, but now it is, it's something that we just understand. So this has been a good introduction for me. Some of the challenges and some of the campaigns that have been shared by team, I would not have imagined someone actually participating, but they are success stories. So definitely, I think the limitation is only in our minds. I just need to make it more open to things. So thank you. It was a really good learning experience.
Swati, coming to your specific case, your key sentence was the limitation is only in our own minds.
Yes,
that is a key sentence. The limitation is only in our own minds. Imagine a chess game where the queen doesn't have power and people are playing against an AI computer, which is going to beat you anyway. Okay. Or the ice bucket challenge, or take this thing of cycling from London to Brighton, so many things are there. Or the zombie walk. I mean, if somebody had come up with a zombie walk and said zombie walk, people would have laughed. I mean, I would laugh at it, being a very conservative kind of guy. But yeah, but people participate and you get money. So why shouldn't you do it?
Yes, sir. So I not definitely the zombie walk and the chess, both of them I think were beyond what I would have ever thought. But people participated. Like if anyone had come up to me and said, let's do something like this, I would have said, who would be interested? Like, we'll need any takers. But it's amazing to see, what really clicks and what doesn't click. We would not know unless until we try maybe.
Exactly. And see, take your own case. For example, since I know Nirman well, and we did the InOrbit run and we raised some 6 lakhs for you. So for the others, we raised about 6 lakhs for Nirman in January by partnering with InOrbit, doing an event, having Nirman as a charity partner. In your case, you got partnership with HYSIA. HYSIA has got about 300 companies and I think about 50,000 or 1 lakh employees, correct? Now, they could not motivate them to come and run the on-ground event because of this COVID and other things and work from home and all that. But if you tell them cycling, which they can cycle anywhere, or they can do even stationary cycling in their houses, that could put a different spin. So you have that network available. You have that alliance partner in HYSIA. You have those 300 corporates who are looking at some HR engagement function for their employees. And they could make it into this. A platform is available with us, Leaderboard, all the other technologies, Strava, and all that integration is available with us, all the registration platform, all that is available with us. We can do all the on-ground production, if you want to make t-shirts, send it out to them. All that can be taken care of. The platform is available. It's the ideation, it's what you want to bring, what you want to plug, how we want to take this forward. There can be a cycling challenge, for 1 week for HYSIA employees, all the corporates across. And that could be the activation for Nirman as a fundraiser.
Definitely, sir. I think the ideation and the promotion aspect of it makes a lot of difference. So good learning actually today.
Thank you.
See
Thank you,
the various ways in which people have converted the campaigns into success. Definitely, sir.
Thank you. I see some other names. Vikas, Pratiksha, of course, on there. Preeta, do you want to say anything? This Kuhu, I just see names. Lena, I mean, if you all want to contribute, please unmute yourself, speak ideas. Your ideas maybe maybe successful for somebody else. It's all about sharing best practice.
I just thought of an idea, Venkat. When remember in Tata Mumbai Marathon, people dress up as some character and then they raise money. So correct. In cycling also, why not? We can have that costume party kind of a cycling also.
Correct.
People
we can do that. Ankush talked about wearing the green pants and cycling.
Yeah, yeah, but here you can have the costume whatever you want to. You can just be
correct. Correct.
That way.
Yeah, nice ideas shared, sir, today. So, it's a good learning and would really look forward for such ideas. I think so. Will help in fundraising for the organization.
Thank you, Preeta. Thank you. Preeta, you are from which organization? I'm sorry.
CMCA.
Okay, very good.
Yeah,
thank you.
Work with Vinodini. Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else before we close? There is somebody from Diksha Foundation. I can only see the name as Diksha. So do you want to contribute something? Otherwise, I want to close in about 2 minutes. There's somebody from UA. UA does many innovative things that I know of. So do you want to share something? Okay, so thank you everybody. I hope it was as engaging for you all as it was for us. We put together 10 cases, but we obviously researched a lot more because we wanted to give 10 cases that are like a variety, not repetitive, some way or the other different, and inspires different thought processes. We didn't bring all our own cases. We wanted to bring a lot of external cases. I just restricted myself to 2 very boutique one-off kind of cases that we did ourselves. And we wanted to present. I hope it was as interesting for you, as encouraging, as imaginative, as feeling charged, as Rajat, Karthik, Ishan, Radhika, and Heth, who enjoyed themselves putting together this presentation. Thank you, everybody. And I will be shutting off this meeting for everybody unless somebody unmutes himself and says something. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for spending this part of the day with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.